You're listening to the CyberWire Network, powered by N2K.
And now a word from our sponsor, Netskope. Netskope is a worldwide leader in SASE and Zero Trust. Its unified platform, Netskope One, provides optimized access and Zero Trust security for people, devices, and data anywhere they go, helping customers reduce risk, accelerate performance, and get unrivaled visibility into any cloud, web, and private application activity. To learn more about how Netskope helps customers be ready for anything on their SASE journey, visit netskope.com. LockBit drops 300 gigabytes of data from London drugs. Video software used in courtrooms worldwide contains a backdoor. Google patches another Chrome 0 day. The EU seeks collaboration between research universities and intelligence agencies. Atlas Lion targets retailers with gift card scams. Researchers explore an Apple reappearing photo bug. Hackers access a Japanese solar power grid. Congress floats a bill to enhance cyber workforce diversity. Ben Yelin joins us with a groundbreaking legal case involving AI-generated CSAM. And whistling past the expired domain graveyard. It's Friday, May 24th, 2024. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Happy Friday, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Last month, cybercriminals stole files from London Drugs' head office and have now released some data after the company refused to pay a ransom. The Richmond, British Columbia-based retailer said the files might contain employee information and is offering affected staff credit monitoring and identity theft protection. The hacking group LockBit claimed responsibility, releasing over 300 gigabytes of data. London Drugs, which shut down its stores temporarily, stated there's no evidence customer data was compromised. LockBit, described as the world's most harmful cybercrime group, has been disrupted by international law enforcement efforts, but it remains active. A software update for JAWS Viewer 8, used by over 10,000 courtrooms worldwide, contained a hidden backdoor, researchers from Rapid7 reported. The software, part of the JAWS Suite 8, helps courtrooms record, playback, and manage audio and video from proceedings. The malicious update, available on the Justice AV Solutions website, allowed persistent communication with a command and control server, stealing passwords and system information. Users of version 8.3.7 are at high risk and should re-image affected systems and reset credentials. The update was digitally signed by Vanguard Tech Limited instead of the legitimate Justice AV Solutions. JAWS confirmed the breach, removed the malicious version, and assured that current downloads are safe. Google has released an emergency security update for Chrome to fix the 8th zero-day vulnerability of the year. This high-severity type confusion flaw affects Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine and is being actively exploited. Google advises users to update Chrome to the latest version. EU member states recommend that Europe's leading research universities collaborate more with intelligence agencies to secure their research from hostile states. This follows increased concerns over espionage, particularly from China. The recommendation aims to address research security risks from international cooperation, focusing on critical areas like advanced semiconductors, AI, quantum technologies, and biotech. Key proposals include facilitating information exchange between research organizations and intelligence services, and increasing political focus on intellectual property theft. The UK is considering security vetting for key researchers by MI5, while the U.S. has a similar program through the National Counterintelligence and Security Center. The recommendations come amid heightened threats from Russia following its invasion of Ukraine. Earlier this month, the FBI warned about Storm 0539, also known as Atlas Lion, a Morocco-based cybercriminal group targeting retailers with fraudulent gift cards. Microsoft detailed the group's tactics, highlighting their strong reconnaissance skills, cloud environment exploitation, and cost-effective operations. Storm 0539 uses fake nonprofits for discounted cloud services, free trials, and compromised WordPress domains for phishing. They gather employees' contact details from public information, send phishing messages, and redirect victims to credential-stealing pages. They then use stolen credentials for multi-factor authentication and move laterally through networks to create and redeem fraudulent gift cards. The group's activity increased by 30% in recent months, targeting large retailers, luxury brands, and fast food chains. Security researchers discovered that a bug in Apple's iOS, not iCloud, caused deleted images to reappear on devices after the iOS 17.5 update. Despite widespread user reports, Apple has remained silent on the issue, leading to privacy concerns. The bug, affecting images deleted months or years ago, was fixed in iOS 17.5.1, released on Monday. Analysts at Synactive identified changes in the Photo Library Services function that re-indexed old files, causing them to reappear. This finding reassures users that Apple isn't indefinitely storing deleted files in iCloud, but highlights that deleted files can persist locally until overwritten. Apple has not responded to inquiries about the bug or the researchers' findings. Japanese media reported a significant cyber attack on the solar power grid infrastructure, marking what might be the first publicly confirmed incident of its kind. Malicious actors hijacked 800 SolarView compact remote monitoring devices manufactured by industrial control electronics company Contec at various solar power generation facilities. The cybercriminals used these compromised devices to engage in bank account thefts. They were after compute power. The hacker group responsible for the attack is likely Hacker CN, also known as Arsenal Depository. South Korean security firm S2W identified Hacker CN as a group potentially based in China or Russia. This group was previously linked to hacktivist attacks targeting Japanese infrastructure, particularly after the Japanese government released contaminated water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant under an operation termed Operation Japan. Though the exploitation of these remote monitoring devices did not threaten power system operations, experts caution that such intrusions could be more dangerous if highly capable adversaries gained access. 2 U.S. House representatives introduced the Diverse Cybersecurity Workforce Act to create a program within CISA that encourages underrepresented communities to pursue cybersecurity careers. Sponsored by Representatives Haley Stevens and Shontel Brown, the bill mandates CISA to expand education and outreach activities, promoting cybersecurity to diverse groups. The program will target disadvantaged communities, minorities, women, people with disabilities, veterans, and more. The bill authorizes $20 million annually through 2030 and requires CISA to report on the program's efficacy. The aim is to fill cybersecurity jobs and enhance national security by diversifying the workforce. This aligns with the updated National Cybersecurity Strategy Implementation Plan. Coming up after the break, Ben Yelin joins us with a groundbreaking legal case involving AI-generated CSAM. Stay with us. In the dynamic world of enterprise security, identity architects and IT leaders face a major challenge. Growth by repeated acquisitions multiplies the complexity of everything. multiple IDPs, MFA providers, policy engines that all need to coexist. This can lead to fragmented user identities and policies that create security vulnerabilities and add access friction. Strata Identity solves this. Now you can decommission unneeded IDPs and consolidate the ones you'd like to keep without rewriting apps or disrupting users, engineers, and app owners. Plus, Strata's modular architecture makes it easy to integrate with any identity provider without manual maintenance and coding. Join the ranks of cybersecurity leaders using identity orchestration. Visit strata.io/cyberwire, share your top identity security priorities, and receive a pair of complimentary AirPods Pro. Offer valid for organizations with over 5,000 employees. Step into a new era of identity management at strata.io/cyberwire. Are lengthy security reviews pulling attention away from your security program? With the largest network of trust centers, Vanta can help you streamline security reviews to win customer trust, save time, and close deals fast. Proactively demonstrate security by showcasing key resources like your SOC 2 or ISO 27001 and provide real-time evidence for passing controls. And when a security questionnaire is required, Vanta takes the first pass for you. Visit vanta.com/cyber to take a self-serve tour. That's vanta.com/cyber. And joining me once again is Ben Yelin. He is from the University of Maryland Center for Health and Homeland Security and also my co-host over on the Caveat podcast. Hey, Ben.
Good to be with you again, Dave.
Interesting story you gathered up here from the folks over at 404 Media. What do we got here today?
So first of all, highly recommend 404 Media as a source for the topics we cover on Caveat.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of really useful information from them, and this is a story by Samantha Cole.
Okay.
The FBI has arrested a man, a Wisconsin man, for generating AI child sexual abuse imagery. So he used a generative AI system, Stable Diffusion, where you give it a text prompt, some type of text prompt, and it generates an image through the use of artificial intelligence.
Right.
This individual created thousands of these realistic images. It depicted some very awful things
Sure.
that certainly qualified as CSAM, and he's being charged with a couple of things. One, he distributed the images to a minor, which is illegal under federal law. That was a real 15-year-old boy, I believe, with whom he distributed these images, and then he distributed the images over the internet, therefore engaging in interstate commerce, which brings this case under federal jurisdiction. The reason this case is so interesting is because the Justice Department is treating this AI-generated child pornography, or CSAM, as if it were simply child pornography or CSAM. In the words of Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, technology may change, but our commitment to protecting children will not. The Justice Department will aggressively pursue those who produce and distribute CSAM, no matter how that material was created. CSAM generated by AI is still CSAM. It's going to be an interesting novel case because there aren't actual children being depicted in these images.
Right. So where's the harm?
Right. I think the theory from the FBI, and this has been shown in other cases as well, relating to things like deepfakes or adults portraying minors, is that this will create a market or a demand for child pornography and will end up resulting in the abuse of children. And I think you could see how that is a pretty persuasive argument. I certainly think the more images that get sent around, the bigger the community gets of people who are interested in these images. At least there's the demand for it and therefore the potential that real images are going to be created. But I think this is something that has not yet been tested in our federal court system. So we're going to get some type of new precedent here as to whether AI-generated images are considered identical to traditional CSAM, so to speak, in the eyes of the law. And I think that's very unclear at this point. We'll have to see how each side briefs this and which way the court comes down.
What about the potential liability of the folks at Stable Diffusion? Do they have any vulnerability here for being theoretically, those images existed on their servers. They were custodians of those images, however briefly.
Yeah, my impression is that this would all be immunized under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. So Section 230 allows these platforms to be immune from lawsuits for any decisions they make to restrict content on their sites as a way to incentivize both creativity and to not punish these companies for making good faith efforts to restrict information. So I think they would have a very robust Section 230 response if they were involved in a lawsuit here, or criminal charges for that matter.
Right.
I certainly think from a moral perspective, they should look at why their guardrails failed.
Right.
We were talking about on our podcast, what was the prompt here? What was the text prompt? And how did that get through these guardrails? How did it trick the system? And are these guardrails not robust enough? I think those are questions that Stable Diffusion is going to have to answer, but I don't think it's going to result in a lawsuit because of Section 230.
How does this play out from here? Are we on a typical long time scale for this to wind its way through the legal system?
It is a bit of an extended time scale. So this individual is in federal custody pending a detention hearing that's going to happen this week. Presumably, he'll be released from detention if he can make bail. And then we'll have preliminary hearings and eventually a trial on this. But it's a longer timeline. I'm guessing probably at least a year until we get a federal trial, and then we're going to have appeals, especially if he's convicted.
Right.
I guess only if he's convicted. So, yeah, I think that there's certainly the potential for this to drag out over an extended period of time.
To what degree is this about the sharing of these images? In other words, suppose this person had generated these images for their own use, had not shared them with anyone, just, I guess what I'm getting at is we've always thought about CSAM imagery, the ultimate reason that we fight against it is to protect children from these horrible crimes and the things that people do to them. But if there's no child involved and it's just someone for their own, are we straying into thought crimes if there's no sharing?
Not the way the law sees it. I mean, the indictment is for producing, distributing, and possessing AI-generated images of minors engaged in sexually explicit content. So you are criminalizing the distribution, but also the production, meaning that he created them,
right?
Presumably for the purpose of distributing them. And then even possessing images, CSAM images, is a crime. Now, the way we define possession, I think, tries to weed out purely accidental cases where somebody enters the wrong prompt and an AI system hallucinates and generates an inappropriate image. I don't think that would qualify as possession. Generally, you have to download something or save it onto a hard drive, save it onto...
show intent.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you certainly are showing intent if you're producing the images and are continuously distributing them. I think that shows an intent to possess them.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's that much of a distinction here. I think you're criminalizing the possession just as much as you're criminalizing the distribution.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's an interesting inflection point, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this case is full of very, frankly, disturbing facts.
Yeah.
It's dark stuff, but I think the potential here to get a legal resolution to this really novel issue, I think, is something that will require us to pay attention as this case moves forward.
All right. Well, Ben Yelin, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And now, a word from our sponsor, 6sense. 6sense provides award-winning cloud-based automated endpoint and vulnerability management solutions to streamline IT and security operations. With its advanced platform, businesses gain complete visibility and control over their infrastructure, reducing IT and security risks and optimizing operational efficiency. With 6sense, you'll get real-time alerts, risk-based vulnerability prioritization and remediations, and an intuitive automation and orchestration engine so you can focus on your core business goals, confident in the knowledge that your enterprise is secure, compliant, and running smoothly. To learn why enterprises choose 6sense, visit 6sense.com. And finally, as you likely well know, domain names are leased. If no one renews them, they go up for sale. This raised an eyebrow for one curious investigator in Belgium. Inti de Suculaire wondered about the fate of old cloud accounts tied to these expired domains. He set off to investigate if old cloud accounts could be revived. First on the agenda, find companies and institutions whose emails vanished due to bankruptcy, mergers, or rebranding. This was a breeze, as these changes are usually publicized. Even more concerning, many expired domains belong to Belgian social welfare institutions. To save the day and the sensitive data, he bought 107 domains for a total of €850. Suddenly, his inbox was filled with emails, including password reset links for cloud accounts, revealing access to a treasure trove of sensitive information, justice information, payment reminders, and health details. This investigation shines a light on the ghostly dangers lurking in the digital graveyard of expired domains. The lessons learned are clear. Expired domains can still harbor sensitive data, posing significant cybersecurity risks. Proper domain lifecycle management and secure decommissioning are essential to prevent these digital hauntings. Implementing robust measures like two-factor authentication can safeguard against unauthorized access. As our investigators' adventure shows, vigilance is crucial in ensuring our digital past doesn't come back to haunt us. And that's the CyberWire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. Be sure to check out this weekend's Research Saturday and my conversation with John DiMaggio, Chief Security Strategist at Analyst One. We're sharing his work, Ransomware Diaries, Volume 5, Unmasking LockBit. That's Research Saturday. Check it out. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback helps us ensure we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like the show, please share a rating and review in your podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. We're privileged that N2K CyberWire is part of the daily routine of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, from the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K makes it easy for companies to optimize your biggest investment, your people. We make you smarter about your teams while making your teams smarter. Learn how at n2k.com. This episode was produced by Liz Stokes. Our mixer is Trey Hester, with original music and sound design by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Our executive editor is Brandon Karp. Simone Petrella is our president, Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here next week.
Hi, everybody. It's Maria Varmazes here, your host over at T-Space Daily, and sometimes a guest on Hacking Humans, too. We here at N2K CyberWire work hard to bring you concise, intelligence-driven news and commentary, and we'd like to know how we're doing. Please take a few minutes to complete our audience survey and share your feedback to help us continue to grow and meet your needs. Visit cyberwire.com/survey. That's cyberwire.com/survey to get started. Thanks so much for your input as we reach for the stars. It means the universe to us.
And now, a message from CyberBit. Mastering cybersecurity is like mastering a sport. You build muscle memory through rigorous practice, then you train as a team to foster cohesion while operating under pressure. Like athletes, cybersecurity professionals thrive on hands-on simulation. But traditional courses, certifications, and open-source labs won't build you a winning team. You need CyberBit. CyberBit offers a hyper-realistic simulation environment for your SOC, IR, and C-suite to refine your skills, all using the market-leading SIMs, EDRs, firewalls, and WAFs they use every day. CyberBit is offering CyberWire listeners a free live-fire exercise. Sign up your team now at cyberbit.com/cyberwire.